The city has a long history with public art through its state-of-the-art gallery. Each year, 2 unique exhibits are installed on State Street to enhance the public streetscape and to spark people's sense of curiosity to explore each sculpture. In 1999, foundations or pads were installed on State Street to facilitate the placement of art, and this year the Office of Arts and Culture booked something extra special.
So the library is working with the County Office of Arts and Culture, Santa Barbara Beautiful, the Santa Barbara Library Foundation, and downtown Santa Barbara, as well as the city, to install tiny libraries on State Street.
We did an open call for submissions, call for art in the Tri-County area, and asked that artists send their ideas for what a library sculpture could be, a sculpture that holds books functionally.
I responded to that call and gave them half a dozen concepts for different types of sculptures that could hold books and that would allow the functionality they wanted and also be durable enough to be used in a public space. They elected to do the punctuation.
We thought this one was the most playful and fun, and that the punctuation kind of capitalized on the literary tie-in, but also would be bright and colorful and large scale and interactive and sort of pop on State Street.
Art fit for a public space was a challenge this group of collaborators faced head-on. Not only did the art have to be safe, durable, and sensitive to the El Pueblo Viejo Historic District, but it also had to be easy on the eyes.
Every small detail is addressed before construction begins, just to make sure that every component of the libraries adhered to all of the design guidelines and was safe for the public to use.
It's got to be more durable, and it has to abide by all these code restrictions for, wheelchair access, blind people, ADA rules and all these other things.
He's very aware of what it takes to construct something so well that it can withstand being in the public right-of-way. So he calls it the gorilla test, the idea that if you're in a zoo and gorillas can swing on it, that's what would make it safe.
With the concept agreed upon and the design requirements met, 6 different punctuation marks now line State Street. A question mark, hashtag, percentage sign, ampersand, exclamation point, and an ole.
We're really excited about having an ole or the double exclamation point to represent Spanish language, because we have so many Spanish speakers. Making intentional space and art to speak to our community is very much what this project is about.
Obviously with punctuation, you've narrowed it now to a linguistic style. In this case, the majority of them are English, but we want to include other languages.
Each of these statues has a special function. They're also tiny libraries. They hold a number of books that residents are encouraged to take and enjoy.
I think it's wonderful to do this because the world needs to read more.
Tiny libraries where you can borrow a book, leave a book, take a book. These are just wonderful things to have for our children and be examples for.
The library spent many months collecting books for the exhibit, so as long as these statues are on State Street, they will be filled.
The books come from a variety of sources, so oftentimes people are cleaning out their bookshelves and looking for a home for books that are gently used, and so over the last couple months we've just sort of put the word out that we are collecting them, and then we have volunteers that sort and organize them so that we are putting forth collections of popular materials that people will be excited to take.
I was looking for a particular book, maybe I'd chancely find it, but I did find Kitchen Confidential by Anthony Bourdain, which is a good read.
Residents and visitors can also leave books in these tiny libraries for someone else to take. As you can see, a lot went into the planning of these tiny libraries, and they're definitely being put to good use.
The library is going to be hosting some events on the first Thursdays that the exhibition will be up, as well as popping up with story times for children and families. Local authors will be reading their work and making them available in the tiny libraries. Our partnership with the Santa Barbara Poet Laureate will also coordinate some poetry readings, and library staff will be at the tiny libraries offering personalized book recommendations and helping people find their next favorite read as well.
It's kind of cool to come out on first Thursdays and see everybody interacting with these tiny libraries and get a good feel about it.
I think it's just a great way to interact with people in a different way on State Street.
Though a great addition to State Street, they won't be here forever.
Even though it might be a temporary art installation on State Street for 3 months, they will have a life beyond that.
After their debut on State Street, we hope to pop them up at community centers and libraries. We've been approached by schools and health clinics, and everyone seems to be very interested in being a next home to a public tiny library.